I'm just gonna let my soul talk. I'm gonna speak my truth. I'm gonna let my soul talk. Take the path I
know. Of computers and barcodes.
Yes, they are.
On top of this, we see this 1847503-5. Is that some type of a crime scene number and item number or something like that that is utilized to document this item?
That's the evidence control number. So once that piece of evidence is brought to whoever is submitting the evidence to the evidence control section, that individual piece of evidence will get a control number. So the first string of 7 numbers there would be the control number, and then the -5 would be the item that's associated with that.
So the control number may be in common with other items of evidence, but that item number, that number 5, is distinct and different from all the other items under that control number.
Yes, sir.
Now, below that, we see DESC : and then is that a description section?
That's the description of the item of evidence that's inside the envelope. Yes,
Is
sir.
the number of items documented?
Yes, sir.
And here we have it looks like the same nomenclature that's on the bottom or the base of the shell casing.
That's correct.
Caliber, 9mm.
Yes, sir.
A description of the item itself.
Yes, sir.
Casing. What is the EM number 62?
That's evidence marker number 62. So that's annotating which evidence marker that item specifically came from the scene.
All right, guys, please. It's very distracting. Like, stop cutting at each other in the chat. Please don't do that. I'm trying to pay attention.
And case, and then we have 2024-365605. Is that the report number for the Tampa Police Department for this investigation?
Yes.
And usually I don't police the chat, and I don't want to start to do that.
Then we have evidence that indicates yes. The report date, June 24th, 2024, and the officer, Sarah Price.
Yes, sir.
Package number. All right.
Yes, sir.
When this label is placed, after this label is placed on there, is this item then placed into the property room and stored there?
Yes, it is.
Now, if the item is and also when it is sealed, is there evidence tape that is placed onto the envelope?
Yes, sir.
Around the seal, which would be here, the folding top portion of the envelope.
Yes, sir.
And is the date that the seal, the evidence tape was placed on there, is it written across the tape and into the envelope?
It is. Yes, sir.
And is this also to ensure the integrity of the storage of the item?
Yes, it is.
If the item is transported to a laboratory, like a state laboratory, like the one maintained here in Tampa, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, are you familiar with that laboratory?
I am. Yes, sir.
Have you dealt with them on numerous cases in your career?
I have. Yes, sir.
And if they open this, once this is submitted for analysis to them, do they place their own tape on the item?
They do.
And do you see their tape that you recognize as FDLE tape?
Yes, I do, sir.
And we see the DLE in this tape here.
That's correct.
Okay. And does that appear to be FDLE tape?
It does. Yes, sir.
Okay. And when the item is submitted to their laboratory for analysis, do they actually prepare a separate label, a yellow label that they place on the item?
Yes, sir.
Detective, in this case, we have this exterior envelope, and then there's a smaller interior envelope.
Yes, sir.
So the smaller interior envelope, was that also utilized by the crime scene tech who collected this item of evidence to place into that first
Yes, sir.
before placing that into the larger envelope?
That's correct.
And is the interior envelope, which we're looking at now as part of States 14, same type of thing, just a smaller envelope?
Yes, it is.
So just brown paper?
Yes, same material if the envelope's made out of the
Okay.
small manila envelope.
And in this situation, we see evidence marker number 62 being reflected,
Yes, sir.
and we see the TPD report number.
That's correct.
We see the description being handwritten onto this envelope,
Yes, sir.
and it looks like the date and the time of the collection,
That's correct.
15/16, 3:16 p.m.
Yes.
The initial of the person collecting it and their PID or personal identification number.
That's correct.
The 9mm shell casings, from what you saw, and we're going to talk about the video that was collected there in a minute, but from what you saw of the video that reflects the actual shooting, do the casings appear to be in an area that would be consistent with the person on the far, or let me put it directionally, to the far north towards the edge of the building during the incident that is firing a weapon, to be near that person and be consistent with his pistol firing and leaving those shell casings?
Yes, sir.
State with tender states 15A through 15K for admission into evidence.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise? Mr. Petratus? Admitted?
Publishing states 15A is an alpha. Detective, I want to revisit these windows again. We've already talked about the evidence marker, the broken glass.
All right, good news, chat. I did find a second witness list. So I now have Sean's witness list. I now have Isaiah's witness list. He has 21 people on it. I can't show it to you though, because there are a lot of, there's a lot of addresses on here, but I can show you Sean's. Sean's just has names. So we'll talk about that during the break. I just wanted to let you know that I have 2 of the 4. I'll keep looking for the other 2.
We see the crime scene tape that has been placed in this scene. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Alicia is not on Isaiah's.
States 15B is in Bravo. See the same area again.
That's correct.
But I'm going to draw your attention to an area here by my finger. Did there appear to be some kind of a defect or damage to the framing of the window there?
Yes, it did.
States 15C is in Charlie. A more close-up of that area.
Yes, sir.
15G is in golf. So now we see that defect. Would that be fair to say, Detective?
Yes,
In scale.
that's correct.
Okay. And it appears this scale is centimeters.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned earlier, we discussed, and this is states 15H, the vehicle that was parked underneath this awning of the portico. The vehicle's facing to the east. Would that be fair?
Yes, it is.
And that vehicle was there, parked there during the incident as reflected by the video.
It was. Yes, sir.
And the employee was there working.
Yes, sir.
States 15I is in India. We see an evidence marker 64 on top of the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
States 15J is in Juliet. Do we see an area there that marker is there to mark?
Yes, sir. It's there to mark the defect on the top of where the roof meets the B pillar of the passenger side, rear door, and window.
States 15K is in Kilo.
Y'all give me the 500 likes, please. We're almost there.
This area, does it appear to be damaged?
Yes, it does.
Does that damage, would it be consistent with being caused by gunfire?
It is. Yes, sir.
state what's under 16A through 16R, 16 Alpha through 16 Romeo.
Any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Zanardi?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Tratus? Admitted?
Publishing 16A. We see a white, looks like a white minivan.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us where that, well, first of all, do you recognize the vehicle?
I do. Yes, sir.
Do you recognize the area where it's parked?
It is parked on the east side of the parking lot of the Homeview Suites, kind of almost opposite the east entrance of the portico.
Opposite the east entrance?
So if you continue through the portico towards the east, towards McKinley, the vehicle would be parked roughly even with the portico facing east, closest to McKinley.
So I'm going to publish states 1 real quick. So east of the portico,
Yes, sir.
in this area here,
Yes, that's correct.
so that vehicle would be facing 40th Street or McKinley?
Yes, sir.
State 16B. Was there some damage that was noted to this vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Kat, not Williams in the chat.
We see the license plate of the motor vehicle.
Yes, sir.
State 16D is in Delta. Underneath the registration date, do we see in one of the letters, or yes, one of the letters, what appears to be damage?
Yes, sir.
Is that damage consistent with being caused by gunfire?
It is. Yes, sir.
State 16E. This damage, was this brought to the attention of the Tampa Police Department?
Yes, sir. While we were on scene investigating the rest of the scene, we were approached by the driver of that vehicle.
In 16E, we see a photograph that appears to be the roof of the vehicle. I'm sorry, the hatch, the inside of the hatch of the vehicle after it's been extended. Option of that.
It is.
State 16H, there was an item in the rear compartment of the minivan that appeared to have damage in this area.
Yes, sir.
State 16I is in India. Is that just documentation of that damage?
It is. Yes, sir.
State 16J. And does this photograph reflect damage to one of the rear passenger seats?
Yes, sir.
State 16K. Actually, that should be this way. Does it reflect multiple areas of damage?
Yes, it does.
So let me ask you about that. If a rifle round traveling at the speeds that rifle rounds travel at passes through the intermediate barrier of the rear door of the van, have you, in your investigative experience in that type of scenario, seen the rifle round divide either the jacket from the core or the jacket from the core and the core start to separate?
Yes, sir.
And cause damage like this?
Yes.
States 16L is in Lima. Is that just a closer photograph of that damage to the rear passenger seat?
It is. Yes, sir.
State 16M. Does this photograph show the front of that seat and potential damage caused by penetration through the seat by those projectiles?
It does, yes, sir.
State 16N. Is that just a close-up of those, of that damage to the seat, the front of the seat?
Yes, sir.
State 16P. Now we're moving to the front seat. Is there damage reflected in the front seat?
Yes, there is.
Just a close-up of the damage?
Yes, sir.
State 16R. Just a close-up of that damage to the rear of the front passenger seat.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Did it appear that all of this damage, well, let me ask you, would it be consistent with it having been caused by a single gunshot that went through, a single projectile that went through the rear hatch door and then separated?
Yes, sir.
Go back to states 8B is in Bravo. This photograph, would you agree with me, is facing pretty much directly west?
Yes, sir.
Across the southern end of the hotel, we see the portico to the right.
That's correct.
We see the Lexus motor vehicle in the handicap spot.
Yes, sir.
On that western edge of cars that are parked in spots that are stacked in a north-south direction, we see this empty spot here between this sedan and what appears to be a Mercedes SUV. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I want to talk about that area. I would move, Your Honor, Intender State 17A is an alpha through K is in kilo for admission into evidence.
Any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise? Mr. Petratus? Admitted.
Early in the investigation, was this yellow Bronco parked in that spot?
Yes, it was.
And in your investigation of this case, your review of the video of the actual shooting, at some point during the shooting, did a third shooter appear in this area between these two motor vehicles?
Yes, sir.
And was he firing what appeared to be a rifle?
Yes, he was.
So in 17A, we see this yellow Bronco, and we see an evidence marker on top of it, of evidence marker 63.
That's correct.
Is that right? Okay. State 17B is in Bravo, just the back end of the Bronco.
That's correct, sir.
State 17, C is in Charlie. We see the evidence marker on top of the car.
Yes, sir.
And then in 17D, we see damage to the car.
Yes, sir.
We go back to 17C. Does it appear that damage is just above the gas cap area?
Yes, sir.
State 17D. And is the defect to the sheet metal being documented here?
It is, yes, sir.
Does that damage appear to be consistent with being caused by gunfire?
It does, yes, sir.
In the video of the shooting with this shooter, between those two cars, did it appear that the shooter was moving to his left, tracking the Dodge Charger and shooting towards it?
It did, yes, sir.
And in fact, is there one round that is fired and the muzzle flash is somewhat obscured by the Bronco? Maybe part of it can be seen.
Yes.
State 17E, is that a photograph of the interior of the car?
It is, yes, sir.
State 17, F is in Foxtrot. Looks like a photograph attempting to document any damage that may have been caused by that round that caused the exterior damage.
Yes, sir.
Seventeen G is in golf. Did it appear that there was some type of a defect?
There did, yes, sir.
17H, is this the rear hatch of the Bronco extended up in the air?
It is, yes, sir.
17I is in India. Did there appear to be damage to the inside of the rear hatch?
Yes, sir.
State 17J is in Juliet, and is that documented here?
Yes, sir.
Seventeen K, is this just documentation of more internal or interior damage to the Bronco?
Yes, sir.
It appears to be a defect or a hole.
Yes, sir.
State Witender states 18A is an alpha through J is in Juliet for admission into evidence.
Any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection.
Mr. Sinardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise? Mr. Petratus? Admitted.
States 18A. You recognize this area being shown in this photograph?
Yes, sir. It's the north west corner of the Home 2 Suites building.
State 17, or I'm sorry, 18B is in Bravo. Looking, well, first of all, the camera angle here would be fair to say is facing south.
Yeah, pretty much due south. Yes, sir.
And the flagpole we see in the distance, would that be back down towards the end of the hotel where the portico is?
Yes, sir.
There is some type of structure here that appears to have a wall. Do you know what that is?
Yes, sir. I believe it was like a dumpster area with a cement wall surrounding it.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Was there an item found right here in this area?
Yes, sir. The plastic molding from the underside of the vehicle.
States 18C, as in Charlie. The vehicle parked in that spot, did it appear to have damage?
Yes, it did.
Some type of paint transfer?
That's correct.
States 18, D is in Delta. And is there damage reflected on that motor vehicle on the front driver's side
Yes, it is.
in this area here?
Yes, sir.
Just so we can, I'm going to go back to one real quick, just to kind of orient us to what we're looking at. Got it upside down. So we're down here on the south end is the portico.
That's correct.
Would it be fair to say we're talking about this area right here?
Yes, sir.
Northwest end of the building.
That's correct.
States 18E. It's an echo. Was there more damage noted to the rear quarter panel, driver's side quarter panel of the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
So I know this is cumbersome, guys, but look at how many other cars got damaged. Like, there's a lot of other cars that got damaged in that parking lot.
States 18F is in Foxtrot. Is that just a close-up of I believe, the front driver's side quarter panel? Paint transfer, and then go back out.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Eighteen J is in Juliet. Moving back to the rear. Maybe the front quarter panel. There appeared to be a streak going across here.
Yes, sir.
Possible damage of some kind of scraping that occurred to this car.
That's correct.
Did your investigation reveal that that car was parked in that spot during the time of the incident?
Yes, it was, sir.
Otherwise not involved in the incident?
No.
Okay. States 5F is in Foxtrot. You recognize what's depicted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we see the same Lexus motor vehicle
That's correct.
in the handicap spot. Do you kind of faintly see the trail of liquid coming out of the Dodge Charger?
Yes, sir.
And would this photograph be facing north, slightly northeast?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I now have all
States
4
5J,
witness lists.
Juliet. And now the camera is moving further north, still documenting a northbound direction.
Yes, sir.
This is a law enforcement vehicle.
Yes, it is.
States 5L is in Lima. Is this the northwest edge corner of the home to suites.
Yes, it is.
Is this the structure you were talking about earlier when we were looking at the car with the damage?
Yes, sir.
It appears to be a dumpster.
Yes, sir.
And are there parking spots that are oriented west to east that run down this western edge of the home to suites?
Yes, sir.
And is this the most northern parking spot before getting to the dumpster grass area?
It is.
Did your investigation reveal, and we can actually see the liquid trail that the victim Dodge Charger, while in flight from the shooting, actually went over this curb and through this area?
It did. Yes, sir.
And did it take it past the driver's side of the vehicle where you found the damage?
Yes, sir.
And then that car ended up here.
That's correct.
Did you find an item in this area that was consistent with being the rear window of the Dodge Charger that had been displaced and fallen off the vehicle?
Yes, we did, sir.
States 5M. Now, is this the area where the Charger would have passed through?
Yes, sir.
And is this camera angle facing directly west towards that small building with the dumpster?
Yes, sir.
And is this the sidewalk that the Dodge Charger would have passed over?
Yes, sir.
This item here, was that the item we saw earlier when we were looking at the car with the damage?
I believe it was depicted in that photo as well. Yes, sir.
And this is a portion of the bottom of the Dodge Charger that was displaced?
Yes, sir. The it appears to be the plastic molding that covers the bottom of the engine compartment of the vehicle.
States 5N. Here, do we see that item over here to the left? And wait for this to see if it's going to focus.
Yes, sir.
All right. And does this reflect the path that the Dodge Charger took?
It does. Yes, sir.
States 5P is in Papa. In this photograph, can you see the rear window of the Dodge Charger?
Yes, sir. About center of the frame, more towards the right side of the picture.
This part here.
That's correct.
And does it appear to be in the same shape and appearance as it would be while it was inside of the car,
Yes.
but folded up?
Folded up. Yes, sir.
And can we see the glass being, it appears to have been shattered?
Yes, sir.
States 5Q. In this photograph, can we see reflection of light off of the liquid that was left?
Yes, sir.
States 5R. Is the Dodge Charger now visible?
It is. Yes, sir.
Is this it right here?
It is.
States 5S is in Sierra. Is this the Dodge Charger?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and can we still see the liquid that is being deposited as it's moving?
Yes, sir.
To the left here, we see a Hyundai motor vehicle. Was that one of the motor vehicles that was parked behind the victim when the incident occurred?
Yes, sir.
Or the motor vehicle that was parked behind?
Yes.
Okay. While we're in this exhibit, I'm going to have you look at this in 5T. This would be the northwest edge of the hotel, reflecting all the floors.
Yes, sir.
Just for reference, this is that dumpster area.
That's correct.
States 5U. On the top floor, was there damage noted to this window?
Yes, sir.
Was it later determined to be having been caused by gunfire?
Yes, sir.
Publishing states 5V, it's in Victor. Is that just a more close-up photo of the damage?
It is, yes, sir.
States 5N. Is this another window that was impacted by gunfire?
Yes, it is.
States 5X. Just a close-up of that photograph
That's correct, sir.
of that damage?
Yes, sir.
So again, guys, I know that this is taking a little bit, and this is the first witness of the day. We're getting dangerously close to lunchtime, so I don't know if they're going to be able to fit some of the Jacksonville witnesses in before lunch, but we'll see. We still usually she lets them go for lunch around 12. So we have about an hour of court time, but Scott Harmon has to do this. He has to go through all the shell casings. He has to really walk through it because Sean's lawyer casted some doubt on if they matched. I mean, that's an interesting assertion, but there's all this other property damage that we're seeing. We're seeing damage to the cars, damage to the whole windows that were damaged, and then you have the guests that were in those rooms at the same time. So tedious stuff, but we're getting there.
Publishing states 7A is an alpha. It's at the front end of the Charger.
It is, yes, sir.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
States 6B, we can see what appears to be the red shorts of the victim and the victim's body still in the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
6C, we can see the Hyundai over here.
That's correct.
And when I say over here, to the west, northwest of that Charger.
Yes, sir.
Stage 6E, victim's legs and socks.
That's correct.
And stage 6F, We can see the victim's upper body, his right arm, his hair, and a stocking cap in his upper body.
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say that his body is face down, straddling over the center console into the back seat?
Yes, sir.
Would that position be consistent with him attempting to take cover?
Yes, sir.
Now, stage 6G is in golf. We can clearly see in these photographs that we are now, you were now at that time clearly into daylight hours.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I want to talk to you about that. When the Tampa Police Department in the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County, which is contained within Hillsborough County,
Yes, sir.
when you respond to a homicide scene, does the homicide unit, if you determine that there is a deceased individual that you believe is the victim of a homicide, do you contact other agencies to respond to that scene other than law enforcement?
Yes, we did.
Well, at least TPD.
Yes, sir.
Is one of the agencies the state attorney's office?
Yes, sir.
And when a body is still in the scene, does an assistant state attorney normally respond out to the scene?
Yes, sir.
And is that to assist with legal issues such as search warrants and that type of thing?
That's
Maybe
correct.
maybe charging decisions.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Do you also contact the Hillsborough County Medical Examiner's office?
Yes, sir.
And do they maintain a dispatch?
They do. Yes, sir.
And do they dispatch personnel to the scene to conduct their investigation of the scene?
Yes, sir. They do.
Ultimately, inevitably, when you have a victim of a homicide in a scene like this, in this case, you believe the victim was killed by gunshots or gunfire, is the body ultimately transported from the scene to the medical examiner's office?
Yes, it is.
And is that for the purpose of an autopsy examination?
Yes, sir. It is.
And is that for the purpose of determining the cause of death and the manner of death?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when the body's in the scene like that, well, first of all, let me talk about the medical examiner's office. After they are contacted, does that take sometimes up to several hours before they can get personnel to the scene?
Depending on their call volume that they have to respond to. Yes, sir.
And is that especially true when it's early in the morning or in non-business hours?
Yes, sir.
And on some occasions, do actual associate medical examiners, the doctors who perform the autopsies, do they actually respond?
They do. Yes, sir.
But almost always do they have forensic investigators who respond.
Yes, they do.
And they will take their own photographs and they will view the body.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Before the medical examiner's office personnel arrive at the scene, is the body, if it can be helped, is the body changed, affected, moved in any way?
No, sir.
Are you trying to maintain the position of the victim's body and the dynamics around the body until the medical examiner's office can get there to look at it?
Yes, sir. We are.
And in fact, under the law, does the medical examiner's office have jurisdiction over that body
Yes, they do.
until it's taken to the autopsy examination?
Yes, sir. They do.
So legally, you really are not supposed to be manipulating the body or molesting it in any way or moving it. Is that right?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And since this takes sometimes hours for them to respond, does that sometimes lead to this type of situation where the body is still in the scene for several hours?
Yeah, and add in the addition of having to obtain search warrants to enter into a vehicle to retrieve evidence
Right.
being the body as well. Yes, it's not uncommon for it to take several hours to do that.
And once they arrive, after taking their photographs, will they commonly manipulate the body, check the body, move the body, look for injuries on the body?
Yes, sir.
Do they go through clothing, check pockets, things like that, remove items of maybe found like a wallet, maybe something that's inside of a pocket, like
Yes.
a lighter, a wallet, something like that?
Sure. Yes, sir.
In this situation, if someone was to ask, why didn't you cover Mr. Jones with a sheet just for dignity purposes? Are you supposed to do that, to cover a body in this circumstance with just a sheet?
No, we avoid that at all costs. It's for the purpose of, avoiding any kind of contamination to the body, to the evidence that may be deposited on the body and around the body.
So the fact that a body may lay in a scene and it may be out in the open on a parking lot, And it may be a somewhat undignified situation. It's just not preventable.
No.
Now, in that circumstance, if the body's out in the open, you all have blinds sometimes that you'll put up. If it's in the middle of the daylight, there's public around to try.
Yeah, he has to do this because of the effect on the jury. So we're not seeing it, chat. But what Scott's doing here is he just showed pictures of the crime scene, right? So now he's finishing up what I believe is finishing up the narrative of how everything happened at the crime scene. But we are now at the portion where they're showing the jury pictures of Fulio's body, which can be disturbing, right? Because he was trying to go to the back seat for, for cover, right? So they're looking at those pictures. Law and Crime is not supposed to be showing that to us. So that's why we are listening and we can't see it. But it is apparent that those photos are on the screen right now. So he has to talk about, okay, like these pictures can be disturbing, right? But let's talk about why he wasn't covered at the scene, things of the like, right? And that's why he's talking about the medical examiners and how they respond to the scene, what the nature of the autopsy is. They're looking for the cause and the manner of death. But Scott has to go through this. Just letting you guys know, because I noticed that we are not seeing what's happening on the screen. That's what he's showing them.
To protect the dignity of the victim. Is that correct?
If we can use them, we try to.
And the integrity of your investigation.
Yes, sir.
But in this instance, the body was inside of a motor vehicle and there was a huge crime scene protecting it.
Yes, sir.
Tape was around it, protecting it, keeping the public away.
Yes, sir.
Right. Stage 6, K is in kilo. This photograph appears to depict maybe a phone charger and some phones laying on the front passenger seat.
Yes, sir.
And some shoes.
Yes, sir.
Were those determined to be associated to Mr. Jones?
Yes, they were, sir.
Stage 6M. And is this documenting the process I talked about earlier where the victim's pockets are emptied?
Yes, sir.
And here we have a key fob and a driver's license and looks like a credit card or a debit card.
Yes, sir.
You guys are saying I'm behind. Let me show you that it says 4:32. My phone says 4:33. If I am, if it's Law and Crime, I don't know. It says Court TV is ahead. I can switch, but this is a live feed literally to the moment. I'll bring it up for the hell of it because accuracy is important to me.
Everybody,
Okay, here we go.
let's bring in our jury.
I guess I was behind by 10 seconds.
All rise. All three are very good.
Okay, very good. All right, welcome back. And we're gonna have a seat. Just so you all know, because we do not have court tomorrow, we're gonna work a little bit later, okay? Not too terribly much, but a little bit to keep making progress, all right? State car, next witness.
The state would call Detective Richard Nieder.
Very good.
She gonna hold these people hostage. Do you guys remember last time she had them deliberate until 10:30 at night? Oh,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this house will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. You may proceed.
Good afternoon, Detective. Would you please state your full name for the jury?
That's Detective Richard Nieder,
What agency are you employed with?
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
oh yeah, I remember him. He participated in Alicia's trial. I remember this guy.
And how long have you been with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office?
It'll be 10 years this fall.
Do you have any particularized unit that you work in?
I do. I'm in the gang investigations unit.
And how long have you been in the gang investigations unit?
4 years this fall.
What types of duties and responsibilities do you have as a part of that unit?
That unit every day, we monitor gangs, members in the gangs themselves. We document them and their activities. We assist other units with intelligence in the gangs. We purge them if they no longer meet state statutes. And we also do a thing we call customized notifications, where we go out to their houses and offer them resources and stuff like that to get them help in a better lifestyle.
Is the outreach specifically something that your agency has the gang units do? So a community outreach of some kind?
Yes, ma'am. We do that. We try to do it once a week. Sometimes we get busy, but we go out with pastors and other leaders of the community and make notifications at their doorsteps.
In doing that, do you also develop relationships with some of the individuals that you're trying to help or their families?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me about what you do or what you're required to do as a member of the gang unit to be proficient in the Jacksonville gang scene.
We go through cell phones, social medias. We monitor social medias along those lines.
And is the monitoring of social media something that's just become more popular in the last few years?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it that you're looking for when you're monitoring social media?
There's a bunch of different things. You look for like the songs that are being posted, what they're posting, who they're posting with, where they're at, their clothing, maybe the vehicles that they're around. And if they're like with other gang members, are they throwing up signs? What do the signs mean? What do the lyrics mean behind the songs that they're posting?
Are you in the gang unit with other gang detectives?
Yes, ma'am. There's 12 of us.
Are you specifically assigned to investigate one gang in particular?
Yes, ma'am.
And what gang is that?
ATK.
Do you have specific knowledge based on your training and experience in Jacksonville of what ATK actually stands for?
I've never been told exactly what it stands for. It would be just what other people have said on the street.
And do you learn that information from your street interviews, watching these music videos, etc.?
Yes.
Does the review of the internet or what's been posted include posting things that are directly posted by individuals of each of these gangs?
Yes.
What are some of the training that you and or the other detectives in the unit receive to become actual gang detectives?
We go through Florida Gang Investigations Association conference. We've taken classes put on by federal agencies. We've also taken classes that are put on throughout the entire country. At those conferences, we learn what other agencies and police departments.
We teach courses on Jacksonville gangs.
No, it teaches like a general aspect of what they see across the state of Florida. It's not necessarily just related to Jacksonville, but each area of the state of Florida may investigate stuff differently. So it's more of like a networking conference where you learn different things, what other people are doing.
So you mentioned cell phones. If Miami-Dade County said cell phones are being utilized to commit crimes in this way, you share that information.
Yes, ma'am, we would.
Are there courses that are taught at those conferences by experts from across the country as far as traditional and hybrid gangs?
Yes.
And during the course of taking those courses, do you attend each of the courses that are presented?
You attend the class that you would find interesting. Throughout the entire conference, there will be like 5 or 6 classes going at one time. And so you go to the ones that kind of relate to what you're doing as a gang unit or like your investigations.
So generally, if there is a course about what gangs are developing or what's happening nationwide, and there's a course about something Florida specific, do you choose to attend the Florida courses?
Generally, it just depends on what the nationwide would be offering. If it's offering something that I don't know, I would go to learn that instead of something I already know.
And is there specifically a statute in Florida that you and the other members of your unit are required to follow in documenting, undocumenting, and investigating gang cases?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that Florida statute?
874.
Does the statute provide for the legal definition for a criminal gang member in the state of Florida?
It does.
And is that the statute that you follow when you mentioned you document or purge different gang members?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you go about reviewing that statute and then comparing it to the evidence or information that you've collected?
So the statute is 3 or more people that are committing one of their primary activities is criminal or delinquent acts. They call colors, hand signs, clothing, stuff along that line that shows they're a part of the same group. We follow that, but the main key would be the criminal and delinquent acts. That be committing crimes to be a gang.
So there are requirements in order to form a gang itself,
Yes, ma'am.
and that includes the criminal association of 3 or more members.
Yes, ma'am.
And those 3 or more members are engaged in the criminal activity of some kind
Yes, ma'am.
or in some way.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it strictly that the goal or purpose of the gang is criminal activity?
No, it's just one of its primary activities.
But is that what's required no matter what, whether you have hand signs, whether you have other activities that identify you as a group, no matter what, 3 or more associated persons and criminal activity?
Yes, ma'am. That's the key component is the criminal activity.
If you have one of the documented gang member criteria underneath that, so the hand signs, the admitting that you're a gang member, those types of things, are you a gang member or an associate?
You're an associate. In order to be a member, you have to meet 2 or more of the criteria that's outlined in the statute.
So if myself and Mr. Harmon and Ms. Doherty are 3 individuals and we all wear blue suits every week on Wednesdays and we have a hand sign that we throw, are we going to be eligible to meet that statute if we are not engaged in criminal activity, at least in part?
No, ma'am.
You must still also be engaged in the criminal activity.
Yes, ma'am.
When you are working gang-related cases or in your duty or capacity as a gang detective in Jacksonville, how much of your work week is actually devoted to the investigation of gang-related crimes?
The entire work week.
And in addition to the gang conferences, have you also attended something called HIDA?
Yes, ma'am. That's one of the federal agencies that we attend classes for.
Is your investigation or criminal investigation of gangs strictly related to murder investigations?
No, ma'am.
What are the other types of criminal investigations that you are looped in for?
We've done everything as from economic crimes to drugs to firearms charges.
And in your role working on your assigned group, ATK, are you also at least educating yourself on the other gangs in Jacksonville?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a requirement to work in the gang unit?
Yes, ma'am. You would need to have general knowledge of the other gangs.
When you are working on assignment to determine whose cases will be assigned to each member of the gang unit, how are they assigned?
If it's after hours, it's whoever's on call. You would respond to the scenes, and then you'd gather the information. And the next day, we'd have a meeting, and we would pass it off to the person that's assigned to the gang.
What is the information that you gather to identify the appropriate gang detective to assign?
More than likely, we'll go off the victim.
Meaning whoever the victim is aligned with or identified as belonging to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you had responded to the death of an ATK member, you would typically be assigned that case.
Yes, ma'am.
There are obviously some circumstances in which that could differ, I presume.
Yes.
Okay. But relatively, that's how you try to assign cases in Jacksonville.
Correct.
In working these gangs in Jacksonville, are there different types of gangs themselves that you have seen?
Yes, ma'am. We have traditional and street hybrid gangs.
What is a traditional gang?
A traditional gang is going to be like your Bloods and Crips, those style gangs that have a hierarchy. They have rules and regulations that they abide by.
When you say hierarchy, what do you mean by that?
Like there's somebody, you answer to somebody. There's like a boss, and then there's people that trickle all the way down.
That's like what we would see with, I guess, maybe Latin Kings or the Mafia. There's someone who's the head of the pyramid, really.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And there are traditional gangs in Jacksonville,
Yes, there is.
but are there the other type that you mentioned, hybrid gangs?
Street hybrid, yes, ma'am, there is.
What is a street hybrid gang?
A street hybrid gang is generally created in the neighborhood. There's no hierarchy, there's no rules, regulations. It's just a neighborhood that meets the state statute 874.
Meaning the individuals who are representing that neighborhood also meet the statutory criteria for gang member.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so you are saying from a neighborhood, are there certain neighborhoods that are identified in Jacksonville as belonging to certain gangs or groups?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you describe for me one example of that?
The easy example would be like 1200. Their area of town is 1200 East First Street.
Is 1200 commonly referred to as Out East 1200 or 1200 Out East?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's literally geographically where a lot of the members reside?
I wouldn't, maybe not reside, but that's their hangout. That's where they're more than likely to be found. They could reside elsewhere in Duval County.
Over the course of the last several years, have you also seen a trend where individuals will belong to Out East 1200 that have never lived Out East?
Yeah, they could. You don't have to live out there to be a part of that gang.
What about 6 Block? Is that a location in Jacksonville?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that refer to a specific neighborhood or area?
It's the area. It's the north side of Jacksonville, the area near 45th and Moncrief.
And typically near 45th and Moncrief, are you seeing 6 Block members that were essentially born and raised there?
It would be the same for them. Like, you don't have to be born and raised in the area to be a part of that gang. But that's just the general spot that they used to or like to hang out.
Well, let's talk about geographic locations. If you are a member of 1200, are there certain areas that you have seen acts of violence occur in the 6 Block geographic locations, or locations that only 6 Block should be?
Yes, if you it would raise concern if you found a 1200 Out East member or associate in the north side
And
6
vice
Block
versa.
area, Jacksonville. Yes, ma'am. That would raise concerns for us.
So certain areas that if you are a member of 6 Block, you don't go, that are other members' territories.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like you can't go, but it just raises concerns and acts of violence would likely occur.
Now, when you investigated or became involved in this investigation, were there 3 specific gangs relevant to this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And what were those 3 gangs?
6 Block, ATK, and 1200 Out East.
Are you familiar with all 3, 6 Block, ATK, and 1200 Out East?
Yes, ma'am. I would say to a certain extent.
Which one are you most familiar with?
ATK.
Is that because that's the gang that you're assigned to?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you, in assisting the other gang detectives, provide information about ATK members when they have an investigation of their own about 1200 or 6 Block?
ATK and 1200 we would help out a lot, just due to our gangs associating with each other, and they have like an alliance.
When you say alliance, can you describe for us what that means?
Yeah, they make music together, they hang out together. They're often seen together, maybe like a party or nightclubs or stuff like that. But the main thing that they would do is make music together.
So just because you are not from the same gang doesn't mean that you don't associate with other gang members.
Correct.
It's not like every gang is completely isolated to themselves.
No, you would have your associates and people that you get along with.
So ATK and 1200 are allied together.
Yes, ma'am.
Do those 2 gangs get along?
Yes.
Relatively. I mean, obviously there are sometimes outliers in anything, but those gangs you've seen music videos, for example, where they're together.
Yes, ma'am.
And were they always known, for example, 1200, always known commonly as 1200 in your entire career?
I think they have other names that they call themselves by, but the gang itself is 1200 Out East. That would probably be a better question for the 1200 detective.
Let's talk about ATK then. Are there subsets or earlier names that members of ATK went by?
Yes. Early on they went by Youngin Gang. They've also, you'll hear them say NHG too.
What does NHG stand for?
No Hospital Gang.
And when you are looking at ATK itself, do you see members that you had previously identified as NHG photographed, making music videos with, or even claiming ATK?
Yes, ma'am.
How does that happen? So how does one group that's identifying as one thing develop into something else?
They just call themselves different names. The gang is ATK. That's the one that meets the state statute. And then generally they'll spin off of it. They don't quite meet the state statute, so they don't become a gang. They're just a group.
When you are documenting an ATK member, for example, do you document if they represent or present NHG but are photographed and making music with or are committing crimes with ATK members, that individual as an ATK gang member with some kind of subset or affiliation to NHG?
NHG is just a group, but the people a part of NHG are documented ATK members.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. So I'm sorry if that was a confusing question. Did over the years you see a separation between 6 Block and an earlier gang, or the members of 6 Block going by something called PCE?
I have, but the extent of my knowledge on that isn't the greatest because I don't investigate them every day. So that would probably be a better question for the 6 Block detective.
And who is that gang detective?
His name is Detective Trey McCullough.
What about 1200? Any subsets of that, like 187? Would that be better asked of that gang detective?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is that?
Detective Craig Griffin.
Were each of those detectives, to your knowledge, also involved in this particular case and investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
When you had an opportunity to become involved in this investigation, did you specifically document several music videos of relevance to provide to the lead detectives?
Yes, ma'am.
And in documenting those music videos, did you document the members of the groups that were associated with those videos as gang members?
I believe that some of them are gang members or associates.
Would they have been documented by Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, for example, Young and Ace?
Yes, ma'am. He's documented ATK.
And did you provide a music video by Young and Ace named Who I Smoke?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen that music video?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had an opportunity to review the lyrics included in that music video?
Yes, ma'am.
Same thing with a 6 Block music video. Although you're not assigned, are you very familiar with a 6 Block video called When I See You?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that a video created by Julio Foolio?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Julio Foolio a documented gang member of any gang in Jacksonville?
6 Block.
And lastly, did you have an opportunity to review the lyrics of a third video called Do It?
Yes, ma'am, by Young and Ace.
Also, same Young and Ace that is an ATK member.
Yes.
And is it a part of your investigation to learn the legal names of these individuals despite these monikers of Foolio or Young and Ace?
Yes.
What is the legal name of Young and Ace?
Kenyatta Bullard.
And have you been familiar with him since you have been working in the gang unit?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity even prior to your time in the gang unit to patrol the neighborhoods in which these crimes of violence would occur?
I have.
And are you familiar with several of those incidents of violence based on your time in patrol and in your time in the gang unit?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain for the jury specifically what a drill rap is?
Drill rap is a style of music that was created in Chicago. It's often a disses towards opposing groups or acts of violence that have happened. It's real life events, more than likely. It's not saying that they committed those events, but they're profiting off of it by speaking about it.
What do you mean profiting off of it?
So whenever you post a song on any social media platform, you get paid for that. So if you get a certain amount of views, you receive money from that social media platform. So if you post a music video to YouTube and you get 1 million views, you may get a set amount of money per those views.
And in the music videos that we have at least discussed today, Who I Smoke, When I See You, and Do It, those each have dozens of millions of views.
Yes, ma'am.
All of the members, for example, we'll go with ATK since that's the gang that you're assigned to. Not all of the members of ATK are prominent rappers, are they?
Correct.
Is there a prominent rapper that is leading ATK?
Young and Ace.
And is he probably the most recognizable, specifically if we go by YouTube views?
I would say yes.
What about for 6 Block? Is that still Julio Foolio or Charles Jones?
More than likely it is.
Are there other members of ATK that are rappers
Yes,
to the level or extent that Young and Ace is?
not quite that level.
But not everyone is a rapper.
No.
Do you, in reviewing these videos, have an opportunity to ascertain how other members of the gang actually make money or profit if there are only certain members that are successful rappers?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? It was
Yes, I don't know what's happening. There's some kind of high-pitched something behind me, so I apologize.
I can hear it, but I don't know what it is. Now it's stopped. Okay.
Are you able to interpret the lyrics of those videos and ascertain how other members of ATK, for example, may be making money but are not rappers in those videos?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that based on the lyrics or the admissions that are given in those videos as well?
Yes, ma'am.
It is not just that drill videos are made by ATK, is that correct?
Correct.
You have seen and essentially interpreted music videos from 6 Block,
Yes, ma'am.
and you have seen and interpreted videos which include ATK and 1200.
Yes, ma'am.
So while those are two separate and distinct identified gangs with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, it is not unusual that you have seen both of those two allied together.
ATK and 1200, you're asking?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it that you have learned causes them to be allies to each other?
They have a common enemy.
And who is their common enemy?
6 Block.
Are ATK members and 1200 members vocal about 6 Block being their common enemy?
Yes.
And have you learned over the course of your time in the gang unit a specific member that receives that disdain from 1200 and do you work with the other detectives as a part of your unit to track and follow and understand the war between ATK and 1200 versus 6 Block over the course of the last several years?
Yes, ma'am.
I will tender the witness, Your Honor, if necessary.
Okay. Any questions at this point?
Wow.
Qualifications or experience?
Whoa, that's all you had for him? I didn't expect that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's it.
Good afternoon, Detective.
How are you?
Good. So you've been in the gang unit since 2022,
Yes, sir.
and during the course of your assignment in the gang unit, I think you told us that you have gone to HIDA conferences, correct?
Yes, sir.
At least a couple of them, correct?
Yes, sir. Those would be like classes, like day-long, 2-day-long classes.
Yeah, 2-day-long classes, and this is the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Association, correct?
Yes, sir.
So they're general classes. They're you may get a gang class, you may get a drug class, you may get a trafficking class, you may get a social media class, you may get an importation class, you may get multiple different types of things in general context, correct?
Yes, sir. They generally put the class title out, and then you sign up to attend that specific class. So I would only attend the gang-related classes for that.
And this occurs over a 3-day period, correct?
They could be up to 3 days, but generally they're 8 to 10-hour classes.
Correct, because there's lots of things going on. It's 3 days,
Yes,
but it
sir.
has a whole bunch of things going on at the same time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And in addition to those two conferences, you also attended the Beginners and Intermediate Florida Gang Association Conference, correct?
Yes, sir.
Additionally, I think you've indicated to us that you also have taken some social media classes or technology classes that generally talk about cell towers and mapping and social media and getting warrants, things of that nature, giving you a general understanding about how to go about doing those things.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to presume that you haven't trained anyone else or been a part of any type of panel as it relates to gangs and gang activity.
No, sir.
And I'm guessing that you haven't authored any kind of paper on that particular subject, gang intelligence or gangs in general, gang.
I see what he's doing. He's trying to disqualify him as an expert witness or cast doubt on it.
Affiliation, correct?
No, sir.
As I said, talking about how many classes was it? Was it 30 classes? And
And
that's what he's doing, trying to exclude.
What training you have,
It's
other than what
professionalism.
you just told us, is pretty much on the street, on the job training, discussing things from prior gang investigators, their files, looking over files yourself. I just told you a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
But in general, those types of activities is what and how you gain what experience you have.
Yes, sir. On the job training.
And to the extent of your testimony, you have testified in the past based on cases that you have handled, that you were a detective for that particular case, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you're not a detective handling this investigation and this murder, correct?
Correct.
So would it be fair to say that this is the first time that you have testified in this capacity?
No, sir. I've testified in this capacity before.
And
Okay.
that would be, as I understand it, at a prior sentencing?
As sentencing or just as a witness in general, though I'm not the one that's actually investigating a case.
But no, but they would be one of your Jacksonville investigations, correct?
I think I'm getting your question confused.
Yeah. So you are here in Tampa testifying about a case that occurred in Tampa,
Yes,
right?
sir.
That you did not investigate, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've been asked to come and testify because you know some of the parties that are involved because they come from Jacksonville, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as it relates to the testimony you are giving here, compared to the testimony you've given in Jacksonville, that would be more related to somebody gets killed or somebody is injured and there is some suspicion that there's gang activity. You would come in and you would do an investigation into that particular incident, correct?
I would work alongside, it depends on the level of the crime. If it was a homicide, I'd work alongside our homicide team. Our sheriff's office is very big, so we have different units that investigate stuff. The gang unit alone, we do investigate crimes, but the type, like this type of crime would be investigated by our homicide unit, and we would provide assistance to them.
Yeah, they would call you and say, hey, look, we think there might be some gang involvement, or you may call them and say, we think there might be some gang involvement.
Yes, sir.
And then you would kind of parallel your investigations.
Yes, sir. We'd provide more of intelligence than any type of investigator.
And then what you would do subsequent to that, when we're talking about your testimony, then you would testify about what you learned as it relates to that particular case. That is what would entail your testimony in court for that case.
I'm still not understanding.
I don't either.
the Question.
I don't know what the
So
hell he's saying.
when you say you've testified in the past,
Yes, sir.
you've done so as it relates to the incident, the murder, the shooting that occurred in Jacksonville that you were brought into in order to do a parallel investigation as to what occurred.
Yes, sir.
I know you said that you've utilized 874 in documenting gang members, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how many criteria there are exactly?
I believe right now there's 11 and the statute is being updated. I don't think that is hit yet. but
And we know
adding
that's
more.
going to, I'm sorry, cut you off.
It's going to be adding more criterias.
Don't know when that's going to happen just yet, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I am correct about that.
I believe, yes, sir. I've learned about it, but I do not believe it's in effect.
It's not good for the jury. It's almost time for them to go home.
Detective, you've never documented a gang member in Jacksonville based on the criteria of them making an admission to you, correct?
I have not.
And you have in the past used a criteria where you utilize a documented reliable informant, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's the standard with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department, as it is a lot of other agencies, that when you have an informant, a confidential informant, and you need that person to be deemed reliable, you open up a file, you bring somebody in, you have a process that you go through with the agency in order to get that confidential informant documented, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you would include paperwork, and you would have a file. Sometimes other detectives might share that informant, depending on what their needs might be, correct?
Yes, sir.
And have you utilized in your documentation in Jacksonville gang members informants that are done and utilized and formulated that way? That's not what you do, is it?
The informant that I used was documented. We do have informants that they're called sources that are not documented, but they're not. I utilize the documented informant.
So you're saying you do both?
Correct.
And in the day-to-day activities or the day-to-day investigation, strike that. Judge, nothing more at this time.
Thank God.
Mr. Snurdy, any questions only as to Detective Nader's training and experience at this
Yes,
time?
Your Honor, very,
Okay?
very quickly.
Man, Rashad's lawyer.
How are you?
Fine, sir. Detective, we took your deposition back in September of 25 in relation to these cases here. You recall that?
Yes, sir.
And since that time until today's date, as a gang expert,
Objection, Your Honor, improper argument.
Sustain the objection.
no further question.
Okay? Mr. Wise?
Father time.
Mr. Freitas? Treatise.
Nothing from Sean. Let's go, Isaiah.
One question
Good
here.
afternoon, Detective.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
Just briefly, you said that your training, from my understanding, it's all from law enforcement sources? Law enforcement agencies? across
Yeah,
the
yes,
country?
sir. Sorry.
Sorry, bad question. And a lot of times you go to the same training conference every year and they just update little by little?
Yes, sir. They update, and then the beginning and intermediate are different levels of classes you can take.
And you learn most of how to document through on-the-job training?
The document is just straight from the statute, and then reading it and interpreting it, and then the evidence that corroborates the statute.
And none of the national gang conferences teach you about the Florida gang stuff, correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
They just teach you the general stuff in the national gangs.
Yes, sir.
When you're talking to gang members, you're generally talking to them when they've been arrested?
It just depends. I've talked to them when they've been arrested. I've talked to them just in public if we see them, or we're out doing proactive police work and they're on a traffic stop and they get let free that night. Any chance I get, I talk to them.
Would you say it's fair that for the most part, they're not giving you specific details or a lot of information?
Yeah, it just depends what kind of situation they got themselves into.
But generally, they're not telling the full truth of everything that's going on to law enforcement.
Not at the beginning.
And you're getting a lot of stuff, you said, from social media,
Yes, sir. Social media and like phone downloads.
and this requires the understanding of some coded words and some language that they're using.
They'll talk. And they might like change up a couple words, but they don't really talk in like very like code like you would think.
And you get those from just watching more and more videos, correct?
What like
The-
the videos.
The coded words that they do use, you understand those by just watching more and more videos. That's basically how you
Yeah,
do it.
you kind of just like I generally just figure out what they're talking about and then kind of piece it together what they're trying to say.
That's all I have. Aaron. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It's effective.
Okay,
Good.
may I proceed?
Detective, if There is a question either interagency or nationwide, really a question about ATK. Are you the focus of, or the sole person at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office that those inquiries are directed to?
Yes, ma'am.
You spoke a little bit about having reviewed music videos, specifically related to this case. At this time, the state would seek to admit the self-authenticating business record, State's Exhibit 111 for the YouTube videos, Your Honor.
Ah, shit.
Okay, is that
I muted it.
just the certification?
Yes, it's the
Not the actual-
certification and the return, essentially. It has the data and the dates for the YouTube videos.
Okay, any objection? That's
Previous
just-
objections, Your Honor.
Okay, okay. Okay, same ruling from the court, it's admitted.
Sir, this particular case, speaking first about the 3 YouTube videos that were identified, were they documented as being in chronological order from Who I Smoke being first?
Yes.
And Your Honor, at this time, the state would seek to admit and publish States 112A and B, 113A and B, and 130A and B.
Okay, and you all renew all previously made objections, correct?
Yes, sir.
Vince? Okay, with all previous objections being renewed, same ruling from the court, they'll be admitted.
Can you see the screen before you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you States Exhibit 112. Do you recognize this still image?
Yes, ma'am. That's the opening credits of the music video Who I Smoke.
This is probably one of the most successful videos from out of ATK and 1200, a joint venture between the two.
Yes.
Are you able to identify the rappers that are featured in this music video?
Yes.
And who are those rappers?
The dude on the bottom left holding the golf club is, that's going to be Wappa with the Choppa. His name's Reginald Williams. The guy to the right of him sitting down behind the steering wheel is Spinabins. His government name's Noah Williams. The guy standing up with the cigar is Malquise Worthen. And the guy in the back in the neon yellow shirt is Young and Ace, whose government name is Kenyatta Bullard.
In the credits page, or this title page here, on top of the Who I Smoke title are the individuals who actually rap in this music video also named.
Yes.
And are 3 of the individuals that you've just named, Spinabins, Wappa with the Choppa, and Young and Ace, rapping in this video?
Yes.
Are Spinabins and Wappa with the Choppa affiliated to a gang?
They're 1,200.
And is Young and Ace the individual that we previously spoke about, Mr. Bullard, the most prominent person in ATK?
Yes.
The publication from the records on this case indicates March 28th of 2021. Do you recall having viewed this video when it first came out?
Yes.
And did you have an opportunity to see these opening credit images that are depicted on the screen before you?
Yes.
Is this symbol in the top left, ATK, the symbol that you frequently see as a part of your investigations, which represents or is the moniker for this ATK group?
Yes.
What about the moniker to the right there, A Team Records?
That would be affiliated to 1,200.
And what about on the bottom, Cuckoo Gang?
Also affiliated to 1,200.
At this point in your career, meaning when you're testifying here today, is it unusual at all for you to see a music video containing ATK and 1,200 representatives?
No, it's not unique.
During the course of the videos, are there graphics that are often placed across the screen, specifically in this Who I Smoke video?
Yes.
And over the course of your reviewing these music videos, are there significance in the names that are utilized by the rappers in these videos?
Yes.
When you discussed drill rap videos, you talked to us about the content of those videos. What is typically the content or the purpose of a drill rap video?
To be disrespectful towards the opposing group.
Oftentimes, when you are reviewing these music videos, is the disrespect directed towards fallen members or ops that have died?
Generally, sometimes they'll speak about the ones who got shot and lived.
Who got shot and lived? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to publish now States 112A.
Oh, right, guys, this is how channels got clipped yesterday because you're not supposed to play music on YouTube. So again, this is the Who I Smoke song. We played it yesterday. If you want to listen to it on your own time, I will drop it in the chat right now. But it will be very difficult for any creator that plays this right now using the trial feed. So if you are interested in this song, the YNs at the golf course, here it is. I'm going to drop it. It's on YouTube. This is Youngin Ace. Boom. Who I Smoke. And again, these are the 3 songs that were played in opening argument, but this is what got almost every channel struck yesterday. So if you want to listen to the song, here is your link. Most of you look like locals and have heard it, or at least fans. We also learned from this, I'm going to do my recap because it is 5:16 Eastern Standard Time. It looks like she's going to play all 3 videos and they should be done. So now that I know that, let me look up Foolio's video too. So there were 4 songs in opening argument yesterday. 2 came from Young and Ace. 1 was Who I Smoke. The other one was Game Over. So let me pull that up too. If you do want to listen to it, that's where he opens it up with the Don Julio bottle. So I have that up too. And then let me just pull up Folio's song, which is the response, I believe, to this one. So Julio, When I See You. So this detective apparently is an expert in gang violence in Jacksonville and has specialized in 1200 and ATK. So she may not go into Folio's response, but I'm just letting y'all know. And again, I wish I could play it, but Young and Ace is the boy, the young man in the yellow in the middle there. Vlad did an interview with him about this song. We'll watch that next week. Okay, it looks like the audio is back.
Yes, ma'am.
More specifically, in this song, there is a line referring to Houston. Is that the actual city or an individual?
That's the city.
What is it that you know about Houston that was relevant in your review of this particular video?
So he said he was lurking on his page, which means he was watching his page, his social media page. He called him lacking in Houston, let off shots. He got shot and went live. They're speaking about the attempted murder on Charles Jones that happened in Houston. He went live from a hospital bed, basically trolling them, saying they didn't get the job done.
Okay, so there was an attempted murder on Mr. Jones. Was he injured?
I believe he was.
And he went to the hospital and then went live. Is that like on social media?
On his Instagram.
And that's a video of some kind on Instagram?
Yes.
To observe specific hand signs that were utilized in the video by Wappa with the Choppa and Spin a Benz depicted on the images in front of you?
Yes.
Is this a common hand sign that you see depicted by members of a specific Jacksonville gang?
I believe that is 1200's hand sign, but like referred to earlier, Detective Griffin would probably be the know-all for that criminal gang and their hand signs and what they do.
So in your review of a music video like this, you would document what we're seeing on the screen and then speak to specifically Detective Griffin to confirm the meaning behind the hand sign?
Yes, ma'am. I would show him the picture, send him a picture, and confirm that is them doing the hand sign. That would be part of the criteria to document them as gang members.
I want to ask you specifically about 2 homicides which occurred in 2018 and 2019. Are you familiar with the homicide of Joe Rod Adams, aka Spaz, and Adrian Gaynor, aka Bibby?
Yes, ma'am.
To what group is Spaz or Joe Rod Adams affiliated or was affiliated?
Out East 1200.
And was Mr. Adams ultimately killed?
He was.
What was the circumstance of that homicide?
It was at Raines High School football game. He was shot and killed at the game. Robert Howard, who goes by Kenny Caps, who is a 6 Block member, was charged with and arrested for manslaughter and was sentenced to 5 years in that case.
So Kenny Caps or Robert Howard, the individual who was also present on the night of Charles Jones's homicide,
Yes, he was.
arrested and convicted of that homicide
Yes.
of Joe Rod Adams.
Yes.
Had that sentence been concluded and he ultimately been released at the time of Charles Jones's murder in June of 2024?
Yes.
Was there an individual present for during the homicide of Spaz or Joe Rod Adams named Adrian Gaynor, a person present with or aligned with Robert Howard?
Yes.
What group is Adrian Gaynor or was Adrian Gaynor a part of?
6 Block.
Mr. Howard, in the homicide of Joe Rod Adams, he was arrested approximately how long after the homicide occurred?
I'm not exactly sure of how long it took to arrest him. I don't think it was very long, but I don't know the exact time.
Okay. But ultimately afterward, was there also a homicide of Mr. Gaynor?
Yes.
At the time Mr. Gaynor was killed, Mr. Howard would have already been in custody though, correct?
Correct.
And we're talking about specific instances or acts, but these are not the only investigations or only cases that you investigated as a member of the gang unit between the dates that we're talking about in these offenses, correct?
Correct.
Did you also have an opportunity to view or review a video called When I See You that was posted on April 23rd of 2021, so about a month after Young and Ace's video, Who I Smoke?
Yes, I have.
And is that what we're seeing a title page shot of here in States Exhibit 113?
Yes, we are.
Are you able to identify the individual depicted on the cover of this page?
In the all black with the black shoes and red bottom. I think it's his underwear. That's Charles Jones.
And you've become familiar with him over the course of your work in Jacksonville.
Yes.
In reviewing that video, were you able to observe hand symbols that were used by Charles Jones as well?
Yes.
Is it common in these music videos for the rappers to diss the other gangs by using the other gangs' hand signs?
Yes. Whenever they use another group's hand sign, they'll face it down. That's where the disrespect comes in, is when you put it down.
And When I See You specifically, did Mr. Jones also utilize his right hand to make another depiction towards the upside down 1200 sign?
Yeah, he's making like a finger gun, like he's shooting 1200.
Is this common or uncommon to see in these drill rap videos?
It's pretty common.
And is this understood to be a diss just based on your training and experience?
Yes.
Lastly, during the course of the When I See You video, did you document Mr. Jones making reference to a shug and an incident on a bike?
Yes, in this music video, yes.
Had you had an opportunity to review the entirety of the lyrics for this music video?
Yes.
And at the conclusion of the music video, does someone depicted in that video also pour what appears to be alcohol on top of the poster that was utilized as a demonstrative in the video?
Yes.
Publishing states 113.
Same deal. I do have the song pulled up. This is our victim in this case, or not victim, but the deceased in the case, Julio Foolio. He did a song responding to the last song. I cannot play it on YouTube due to copyright purposes, but I did pull it up because it came up in opening. It's called When I See You. Here is the link to that if you want to listen to it on your own time, but we're keeping it safe here. So it is said that Julio Foolio went to a cemetery and he had this poster and he's on graves rolling around and spilling alcohol on the three gentlemen in the poster. And here's the thing, like, of course, that's the nature of drill rap. These were not those three men in the poster. This is not shot at their actual grave sites. This was a random cemetery where they filmed this video. And we have seen that in a few different interviews where they talked about this, and Julio Foolio admitted that, where, you know, it wasn't their exact grave sites, but we did film it at a cemetery. So Detective Nieder, who specializes in the rival gang, ATK and 1200, noticed that this was posted as a response to the first video. I think he said a month or two later, right? This is the only one from Julio, the gentleman that passed away in the center of this case, is the only one that I saw in opening argument, but just wanted to mention that to you guys. It is also 5:27. We are on redirect right now with Detective Nieder. He is from Jacksonville. The song looks like it's almost over. However, I think they have one more video that they want to play before they let us break for the day. So we're going to allow ChatGPT, if you don't know, the woman that is performing this redirect, and she did the direct examination, is Anna Eastmer. Anna, I call her ChatGPT because she's very sharp when you get her on cross-examination. Like, she's very fast, she's very articulate, very smart. So when I call her that, it's not necessarily a diss coming from me. It's kind of a compliment because I think she is probably the most revered cross-examiner on that defense team. Michelle is the other woman who's pretty good on direct, but Anna here is great with cross. So let me unmute it and let's go back in.
This page.
In the all black with the black shoes and red bottom, I think it's his underwear. That's Charles Jones.
And you've become familiar with him over the course of your work in Jacksonville.
Yes.
In reviewing that video, were you able to observe hand symbols that were used by Charles Jones as well?
Yes.
Is it common in these music videos for the rappers to diss the other gangs by using the other gangs' hand signs?
Yes. Whenever they use another group's hand sign, they'll face it down. That's where the disrespect comes in, is when you put it down.
And when I see you specifically, did Mr. Jones also utilize his right hand to make another depiction towards the upside down 1200 sign?
Yeah, he's making like a finger gun, like he's shooting 1200.
Is this common or uncommon to see in these drill rap videos?
It's pretty common.
And is this understood to be a diss just based on your training and experience?
Yes.
Lastly, during the course of the When I See You video, did you document Mr. Jones making reference to a shug and an incident on a bike?
Yes, in this music video, yes.
Had you had an opportunity to review the entirety of the lyrics for this music video?
Yes.
And at the conclusion of the music video, does someone depicted in that video also pour what appears to be alcohol on top of the poster that was utilized as a demonstrative in the video?
Yes.
Publishing states 113.
Same deal. I do have the song pulled up. This is our victim in this case, or not victim, but the deceased in the case, Julio Foolio. He did a song responding to the last song. I cannot play it on YouTube due to copyright purposes, but I did pull it up because it came up in opening. It's called When I See You. Here is the link to that if you want to listen to it on your own time, but we're keeping it safe here. So it is said that Julio Foolio went to a cemetery and he had this poster and he's on graves rolling around and spilling alcohol on the three gentlemen in the poster. And here's the thing, like, of course, that's the nature of drill rap. These were not those three men in the poster. This is not shot at their actual grave sites. This was a random cemetery where they filmed this video. And we have seen that in a few different interviews where they talked about this. And Julio Foolio admitted that, where, you know, it wasn't their exact grave sites, but we did film it at a cemetery. So Detective Nieder, who specializes in the rival gang, ATK and 1200, noticed that this was posted as a response to the first video. Compliment, because I think she is probably the most revered cross-examiner on that defense team. Michelle is the other woman who's pretty good on direct, but Anna here is great with cross. So let me unmute it and let's go back in.
Primary focus of this video that was posted by Charles Jones.
Yes.
Is that what Mr. Jones is referencing in this poster here that's observed on the screen?
Yes, that's the three victims, the three deceased victims of that case.
The town center shooting.
Yes.
Were you able to ultimately identify those three victims?
Yes.
By nickname Quan 23 and 4?
Yes.
Was there also another individual present with those three when that shooting occurred?
Young and Ace.
Is Young and Ace the only individual who survived that shooting?
Yes.
When we're watching these music videos and we hear common terms that are used, like smoking on another person, does it mean the same thing even though it's included in a music video posted by the opposite side?
Yes.
So smoking on someone would mean the same thing essentially in a 6 Block video as it would typically in an ATK video.
Yes.
Okay. You still would look towards the context to ensure whatever the meaning was.
Correct.
When the town center shooting actually occurred, the references that are made by Mr. Jones in this video, gone out to eat on his birthday, those specifics, are those accurate as to the investigation for the town center shooting?
Yes.
And then were there several references to an individual named Shug in this When I See You video?
Yes.
And are you able to identify Shug by legal name?
Avery McKnight.
Is Avery McKnight another individual that was killed in this back and forth?
Yes.
And what gang was he affiliated to or associated with?
1200.
Have you seen depictions or images of Avery McKnight before?
Such as?
Like a tattoo of Avery or Shug or something like that?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And there was some significance to Shug and his bike being taken. Is that relevant to some kind of investigation in the death of Shug?
Yes.
We talked already about town center, but in speaking about one of the victims of that case, 23, is that a nickname for one of the victims?
It is.
And do you recall the legal name of that individual?
Roy Smith.
During the course of your work with ATK and investigating gang members, has 23, the actual number itself, become a documented reflection of gang criteria?
Yes, ma'am, it has. It's even said in interviews that it is.
Representative of a dead gang member?
Yes.
And utilized to depict or represent ATK?
Correct.
After these videos are posted, do you continue investigating an uptick of offenses back and forth between 1200 and ATK and members of 6 Block?
Yes.
Specifically as it relates to August 16th and 17th of 2023, was there a shooting offense that occurred in Jacksonville which involved a victim by the name of Jaquan Pickens?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Pickens go by the name Jake Jitt?
Yes.
Can you tell me about the circumstances of that murder?
It was early in the afternoon on I-95. Interstate runs through Jacksonville. Mr. Pickens was northbound, coming over one of the rivers. A car pulled up beside him, unknown make, model, and color. Shots came from the car, struck Mr. Pickens. Mr. Pickens crashed into a broke down semi, and that's where he was found deceased. His cause of death was gunfire.
And you responded to that offense location at the time of the homicide or shortly thereafter, excuse me.
Yes, we would respond once the scene is secured.
And you specifically were also able to confirm the identity of the victim, Mr. Quan Pickens.
Yes.
When the next day then arrives, is a 1,200 member shot.
Yeah, Jacoby Bills, who goes by Lacoby.
Did Lacoby survive that shooting?
He did.
And where did that shooting occur?
It occurred at a park I think it was a Pop Warner or some sort of youth football league practice.
But he survived that shooting itself.
Yes, he did.
When you say you document or monitor social media, do you do so after these offenses have occurred?
Yes.
And is it common, at least now, really in 2020 and beyond, I guess, to see the rival gangs take responsibility for offenses that have occurred?
Yeah, they will take responsibility, and they will also like troll. They might not say like they did it, but they'll like make fun of his death, call him names. They'll post like a song or something like that that insinuates violence.
Okay, so you said troll. So you don't log into Facebook and say, I killed John Smith today at noon.
No.
You post other images or phrases or something along those lines.
Yeah, just it's I don't know. I remember briefly about Jaquan Pickens. They were posting like chicken nuggets, like making fun of him, calling him chicken nugget.
Ultimately, a few months after, are there two offenses related to each other and involving ATK and 6 Block members?
Yes.
On October 6th of 2023, was there a homicide of an individual by the name of Antonio Tilley?
Yes,
Did you also respond to that scene?
I did.
And were you able to confirm the identity of the individual who died at that scene?
Yes.
What are the circumstances of that homicide?
Antonio Tilley was messaging a female on social media. They agreed to meet up. As Antonio Tilley pulls into the residence where they were alleged to meet up, he was ambushed by 2 individuals where he was shot, and the Uber driver was shot and killed.
So Mr. Tilley did not survive that shooting,
He did not.
and the shooting occurs in the late night hours of October 6th. Is that right?
Yes.
Were there posts on social media from members of 6 Block that you observed taking essentially, quote, credit for that offense?
Yeah, they did the same as credit, trolling, making fun of his death.
And when you were on the scene of Mr. Tilley's homicide or investigating that, did you receive a call to respond to an attempted murder of an individual by the name of Charles Jones?
Yes.
Did you have an opportunity to respond to that scene and ultimately a hospital?
Yes,
And was Mr. Jones the surviving individual from that shooting?
he was.
What were the circumstances of that shooting several hours after Antonio Tilley was killed?
It was early in the morning. A car backs in on an abandoned residence near Mr. Jones, where he was at that night or that morning. As Mr. Jones backs his black Charger out of the driveway, he starts driving down the road. 2 individuals get out of this vehicle back into the abandoned driveway and open fire on Mr. Jones's Charger. Mr. Jones fled down the road a little bit and then exited his vehicle and ran to a neighboring residence for help.
And you responded to the offense location?
I did.
And then another detective with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office would have collected the evidence from that offense itself.
Yes, ma'am. Anytime, any violent crime or anything like that, our evidence technicians collect all the evidence.
And ultimately, does Antonio Tilley on the left side of our screen here become also a predominant figurehead or reference in ATK, just like 23?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's quite as big as 23 and reference like paying the respects, but he did become a name to a group of them.
Ultimately, on the date of the homicide, the murder of Charles Jones here in Tampa, Florida, was there a video released by Young and Ace?
I'm sorry, I missed the very beginning of that.
On June 23rd of 2024, was there a video released by Young and Ace called Do It?
Yes, ma'am.
And in reviewing the content of that video, I guess in the time that it had been uploaded to YouTube, was it apparent that it had been recorded on a date in advance of June 23rd of 2024?
Yeah, that's what I would, based on the scene of the music video, with it being nighttime and stuff like that. I don't see where he would have had time to record it at night and release it the same day.
Did you have an opportunity to look at the lyrics of the music video called Do It, posted by Young and Ace?
I did.
And was there anything as it relates to your investigation of ATK which led you to believe that before June 23rd of 2024, there was an ending of the war between 1200 and ATK versus 6 Block?
Yeah.
Was it still ongoing at that time?
Yeah, I would say like the ending of the war would be probably the death of Charles Jones.
Publishing states 130. Is this a still from the music video Do It, posted by Young and Ace on June 23rd of 2024?
It is.
And to your knowledge and based on your involvement in this case, was Charles Jones killed around 4:40 a.m. on June 23rd of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this Mr. Kenyatta Bullard sitting on the ground here in this slide?
Yes.
Publishing video for 130A.
All right, so as you guys know, the song is playing. I am dropping it in chat. This one was not an opening argument. What's interesting is that Young and Ace posted it the day of Julio's death. So you had time to record, produce, do this video, do all of that. I think that's why she's bringing it up, but it did not come up in opening argument. So interesting that it's coming up now. And remember, this detective is specializing in ATK and 1200. So we're going to call this one Young and Ace, Do It. 19 million views on YouTube. So with them being so fast with responding to each other, because when did the Don Julio video come out? Game Over. What's the date on that one? Let me look it up. So this is the 23rd of 24, which really wasn't that long ago, guys. Game Over's upload date is June 28th. So you have a 5-day gap of 2 Young and Ace songs, one of which goes up the day that he passed. I didn't know that. I don't think it came up in Alicia's trial. All right, let's go back to sound.
Have you seen this thumbs down used before?
Yeah, when you like a thumbs down, I've seen it.
Bully Gang is associated with 6 Block, is that correct?
Yeah, there would be a subset.
And have you heard Bully Down utilized by ATK and or 1200 members?
Yes.
Did you analyze specifically the lyrics of this Do It video?
I did.
And in the line that's highlighted on top, go onto the park, take a picture. Do you see that line there?
I do.
Was there a significant incident that occurred in Jacksonville in which Charles Jones was in Melvin Park?
Yeah, they went. So Melvin Park is on our city's west side of Jacksonville. It's often where ATK claims their territory. Young and Ace was originally from Clay County, which is like a neighboring county to ours, but Melvin Park was the general area they hung out. Charles Jones went there and took a picture with the park sign. They wrote on it, and they did a music video inside of Melvin Park.
And lastly, did you have an opportunity to look towards the content of the lyrics in the Do It video?
Yes.
As we previously discussed, although the prominent rappers that actually make money on YouTube, for example, may have funding from views, do they also discuss the use of money to pay other members?
Yeah.
Can you describe for us what little do-its are?
It'd be like, Like a crash dummy, or like somebody like you just give them some money and they'll do whatever you want them to do.
Okay, is crash dummy a term that you have heard used in your training and experience in law enforcement?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, ma'am. It's often terms that the neighborhoods use for like a younger individual who's trying to make a name for themselves, and they tend to just do crazy or like crazy acts to try to make the name.
And is that what you understood in this music video in the last sentence that we just read? I don't even call him by his name. I call them In's little duets.
Yes.
Now, when you're talking about reading the lyrics in context, does the next line depict for you the context about location of the opposing targets?
Yes.
And how's that?
He said they called my phone. They say they got the low. I told him to do it. Low means like location. Like when you say you have the low or the drop on somebody, you know where they're at.
And I told them do it, and reading the rest of the contents in context, all this money, make an N-word, do it. Is that saying or providing anything for you in the context of this song?
Yeah, he's saying that all of the money he's got will make him do it. So he names the price, it makes him do it.
I will tender the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez,
Oh, no, please.
any of these up, or are you going to utilize any of the exhibits?
Oh, Gonzalez, please don't long stroke. Make it quick.
Does anyone need any of the exhibits? I'm going to unplug it so it's not on the monitor.
No.
Please, Gonzalez.
Detective, you have testified about translating the lyrics of a rap video, talked about it, testified to it, specifically today with regard to these three videos, When I See You, Who I Smoke, and Do It. In fact, these translations are a product of your own opinion as to what is being said, correct?
Yes, sir.
And by listening to it, you utilize what you believe are other investigations or other information you have received by talking to someone on the street or reading a social media post in order to formulate that opinion, correct?
Along with my training and experience and the experience of the other detectives in the unit. Yes, sir.
Well, the training is not going to assist you interpreting lyrics, correct? That's going to be based simply on
Man, you see
what you've gathered on a day-to-day basis. And
you see that second row clearing out? They're so done.
what your eyes and your mind says you see and hear.
I mean, during the training, we network with other detectives who.
Shit, ain't nobody asked to be out there for about 2 hours.
If we don't know what the meaning is, they might throughout Florida.
Well, you're not telling me that you're relying on other detectives to interpret a lyric in your city, in your county, in a particular case, because we're not talking about coded language here. That's not what's happening. This is not coded language. This is an interpretation of a word, a series of words, or a sentence.
Objection, Your Honor. Compound.
Okay, just go ahead, finish your question.
You're not discussing or telling me that you're utilizing other detectives to assist you in interpreting these lyrics, are you?
I interpreted it myself, but if I don't know the meaning of one of the words that they use, I will ask for help. Yes, sir.
And you're talking about detectives from other jurisdictions. We're not talking about something that would be termed coded language. That's not what we're utilizing here, is it?
I wouldn't say it's coded language.
Okay. So you're asking someone else to interpret for you what you think something means.
No, sir.
So you think something means what you interpret it to be. If you're not sure about some part of it, you would ask another detective, potentially from another jurisdiction, to assist you.
I would ask them like the meaning of a word, not what the whole section, not the whole lyrics mean.
Okay. And when you do this, you utilize posts that you've seen on social media, correct?
Yes, sir.
You use Instagram,
Yes, sir.
whoever might be talking on Instagram anywhere about anything, correct?
Yes, sir.
Reddit, which is another social media platform where people talk about what's going on out on the street, right?
Yes, sir.
And you talk to people on the street
Yes, sir.
who tell you what they think it means too, correct?
Yes, sir.
And these posts can come from anybody. You don't know who they're coming from, correct? The majority of the time.
Like, well, I'm sorry. What posts?
Well, when you're utilizing social media posts, it could be posts that are being made by lots of different people that may not even have a direct association with what's happening. Is it in your interpretation, that information?
I would take what they say and I would discover facts or evidence that goes with what they say before I use it.
And part of doing that would be to talk to other people to see whether they say what he says.
Correct.
And that would be a large part of your day-to-day intelligence that you gather.
Yeah, that's some of the intelligence we gather.
And when you talk about these drill rap videos, in most cases, the majority, if not all of the songs, are disrespecting another person or another group, correct?
Yes, sir.
And all gangs, all rappers, because every rapper is not in a gang, correct?
That's correct.
And drill rap has to do with, at the highest level, disrespect for other people, correct?
Yes, sir.
That would be disrespect for someone who's died, putting it out there for everybody to see, correct?
Yes, sir.
In order to get clicks, in order to make money, in order to get notoriety, all of those things, you would agree with me?
I would agree that comes with drill rap. Yes, sir.
And essentially, they may even display happiness over what occurred, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pleasure over somebody dying in a group they don't like, correct?
Yes, sir.
And also allowing the rest of the world to know what happened, right?
Yes, sir.
And when we say the rest of the world, we're talking about millions and millions of views everywhere.
Yeah,
Correct?
Lots of views.
The more you talk, the more angry you are, the more violent your lyrics, the more pointed they are with disrespect, the more notoriety you get, don't you?
Yeah.
And the more notoriety you get, the more money you make, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, it's led people like Julio Foolio, Charles Jones, Young and Ace to actually get record deals with legitimate record companies that distribute worldwide, correct?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Do you know whether or not Young and Ace was signed by Geffen Records?
He says he is, but I can't confirm or deny.
Okay. This disrespect that's shown in these rap videos, they talk about incidents in general, but they oftentimes talk about either groups or individuals. It could be both.
Yes, sir.
This also expands that particular rapper or performer's base of either customers or followers when they do these shocking things, correct?
Such as music videos and
Yes.
drill rap. Yes, sir.
And more often than not, when you're doing drill rap videos or you're doing these videos in general, you're doing it because somebody else is rapping about you.
Generally, yes, sir.
And so it's back and forth kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
And it's generating a lot of buzz and it's generating a lot of money for a lot of people. Correct?
Yes, sir. I would say so.
And would you agree with me that because a rapper, a drill rapper, any rapper, people that are in drill rap videos, people that post these things, if it's not a rap video, let's say it's just a post, they are not A, admitting to a murder, correct?
Correct.
B, they're not saying things most often that are not already everywhere over the streets.
He's reminding me of Miss Love from the YSL trial. You know how she would buffer when she's thinking, like she would think a sentence out loud, like she would be buffering. He is loading so much. It's like, man, spit it out.
Correct?
Sometimes it's bounce. It's more likely that the lyrics that they rap is knowledge, like news knowledge, I would say. Maybe they've said in like their news briefing, but there is sometimes where they rap about things that it was not released to the news.
They don't always happen, 30 minutes after.
Yes,
And
sir.
even if it's 30 minutes after, would you agree with me that in the age of social media, in the age of all of these social media platforms, incidents that occur in areas and neighborhoods that know and keep their eyes open spread it immediately like wildfire?
Yes, sir.
And so the majority of the time, what you're getting when you have these drill rap videos are things that are already very common knowledge.
Yeah, majority of the time.
So discussing these things, disrespecting these people does not necessarily mean that you were involved in any crime at all, correct?
I would agree with you.
Because we would probably think that when you were in the midst of doing investigations of the actual incidents that took place, having evidence that is provable against someone would in fact lead to that person's arrest, correct?
Yes, sir.
And even if you took what is being said as truth, as you have when you interpret these lyrics, you would think it would springboard you to get to a point in an investigation where an arrest is made, correct?
Not necessarily. I think the music is more along the lines of, like you said, the views and the money, but it also represents the group and the gang itself. It's just like it's a way of disrespect. That's how these guys use it to be disrespectful.
Well, then being disrespectful is not a crime, correct?
Yes, sir. You're right.
And in fact, in opposite of being not a crime, it's also very financially lucrative.
Yes, sir.
And I guess what I was trying to get at is that you are doing day-to-day investigations in order to solve crimes. That's what this is all about, correct?
Yes, sir.
And if you're interpreting these lyrics, you are doing it purposefully in order to solve crimes, correct?
Yes, sir, to an extent.
And if any of this is true in these lyrics, in these rap videos, then you would have hoped that it would lead you to something else that might provide enough evidence to arrest someone, correct?
Yeah, but I'm not trying to understand your question of like the lyrics are true. I heard you said something along if the lyrics are true, it would lead to arrest. The lyrics are true. Those are real life events that have occurred. Just because a lyric doesn't allow us probable cause to arrest somebody.
Understood. And very rarely would it ever in anybody's world. And I didn't want to mislead, you in saying that. But in this tool of investigation that you guys spend so much time doing,
Yes, sir.
okay, that would normally, you would hope, springboard to something that would allow a case to be solved or additional evidence to be uncovered or generated, correct? That's the goal.
Oh, yes, sir. It would hopefully allow us to generate an arrest or prevent the next violent crime by knowing where maybe the next incident will happen by the act of violence is.
And when you say that a rapper post or in a video took credit, I thought I remember hearing you say that when you were testifying on direct. What you're really meaning, and you use this word too.
Everybody left the gallery. There ain't nobody left. Everybody's gone in the crowd. They're all gone.
They're trolling the other side, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's you're using that synonymous with taking credit. They're trolling.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we don't want to mislead anybody to suggest that when you're taking credit, you're telling us that they're taking credit for a murder.
Yeah, that would obviously you're at. It would be more of like that your group, like you're representing the group in the gang. You speak about it because there's a known feud and a known war going on. So you speak about it to gain the views and to gain the likes and to gain the profits off of it. It wouldn't necessarily be like you're the guy who pulled the trigger.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the incidents that you have discussed. You talked about the town center murder. That occurred in 2018, correct?
Yes, sir.
That was going to be probably 5 years or so before Mr. Jones's death, correct? June of 18 versus his death being June of 24, correct? I'm terrible at math.
Yeah.
Six.
That's
6 years.
More than 5.
That murder is unsolved to this day, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the Joe Rod Adams Spaz murder, August 24th, 2018, again, about 6 years from Mr. Jones's murder. Were you aware that investigation indicated that Mr. Howard, who did that shooting, shot Spaz Adams over a girl, a problem with a girl?
I'm not aware of the investigation, the details behind it. I'm just aware of that Robert Howard was sentenced to 5 years for manslaughter for that charge.
Correct.
Or for
Robert
that
Howard,
case.
right. Robert Howard admitted that he shot Spaz Adams. The question is why, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure the motive behind it.
Did you ever have any conversation with Detective Dishman, who did that investigation?
No, sir.
Okay, so you are utilizing that as what you think is a critical juncture in this alleged gang war, correct? Usually utilizing this particular incident.
Yes.
Okay, but in fact, you could be wrong about this incident actually having gang undertones as opposed to an argument between two people over a third person.
Yeah, but it's about the underlying factors of it. One was 1200 and one was 6 block, and the war goes way before that date and time.
Was Bibby Gaynor a documented member?
I'm not sure if he was a member or an associate. That would probably be a better question for Detective McCullough, but he was associated to 6 Block.
And that was because he was very close with Julio Foolio, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in order to know whether or not he was a documented gang member, we would need to ask Detective McCullough.
Yes, sir. He's the 6 Block detective. I don't keep up with the members and the associate statuses of those guys.
Even on this particular one that you know is so vitally important to this timeline,
Yep. How much longer do you anticipate on cross?
Judge? A while.
Okay, you all step on out.
All right.
He said a while. It's better to do it on Monday. The point where the jury just asked for a break. He was losing them. Let's see what happens here.
Okay, so what does a while mean? Because let me just tell you this. You can take whatever time you need as far as cross goes, but we're not going to replow all of this territory again when it comes time for the gang enhancement portion of this. So my understanding is Detective Nieder's going to come back for that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that we're not going to do it twice. So if you're telling me you need a lot more time, great. I'll give you whatever time you need, but we're not doing this 2 times in a row. So
Well,
you're
Judge,
telling me how much time do you think you're going to need?
First, let me just say, Judge, I may not rehash this entire thing with Detective Nieder if he's going to be testifying to something completely different when he comes back. But all of these 6 incidents that the state's chosen to bring to the jury's attention through Detective Nieder's testimony, we're now going to get testimony from those particular gang detectives that are not going to be Detective Nieder.
I know, I'm talking Detective Nieder is what I'm talking about. So at some point, depending upon what it is, when he comes back, when he testifies to, I'm going to start sustaining asked and answered, just so you know. Okay?
Understood.
We're not going to do this 2 times in a row. Okay, so at this point, it's already 6 o'clock, and it looks like Mr. Gonzalez is not anywhere close. And then we have 3 more lawyers that have to do cross. So we're just going to have to wrap it up for today and bring Detective Nieder back on Monday.
Yes, Your Honor. May we request permission to at least have our staff communicate with Detective Nieder about plans for travel
Yeah, of course.
coming back, given
Yeah.
that he's going to be leaving the stand.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Very good. All right, let's bring our jury back in.
Oh, man. I told y'all he was going to be a problem child. He's doing his job. It's just that he takes a lot longer to get points out than the other lawyers, which is all right.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, so the judge is policing the time, which is also her job. But, I think because a jury member just asked for a break, right? She's trying to be cognizant of that. So Monday would be the time where we are going to resume, it sounds like. He is entitled to a defense. She says, I'll give you as long as you need. But she is saying that she's not going to allow him to do this long drawn out thing twice, which probably wasn't the best response. But a judge's job is to kind of be the umpire of the courtroom, call the balls and the strikes, manage the time. And that is one of the things that came up in the bias from Alicia's case that ultimately got her removed from that one. So it's interesting, but I think this is technically the jury's Friday. You don't want to go through this right now when they've already been here for 9 hours, chat. So it's a tough one. But on Monday, I think that they should resume with this detective if he is going to ask more questions. I think she was right in that part, but probably not right in saying that he's only going to get one opportunity to talk to this detective. And he is going to be recalled. So we know that. We know that now. So that part I agree was probably not the best, but it is, I can see that he kind of takes his time with asking questions. He's getting some good responses to defend Rashad, but you got to do it. Like Monday morning, I think would be so much more effective when everybody is fresh and rested and all of that, instead of trying to do it late in the day. But this is the other thing too, is if they all have to spend time questioning a witness and one takes longer than the other, where we've seen that sometimes they don't, if it doesn't have to do with their client, they may choose to not cross. But these are things that you also have to outline at the beginning of trial as well, right? So we'll see what happens when the jury comes back in. But yes, SB, it is very, very slow. And that's why all these defendants wanted their own trials. But she opted to have it be done together. All right, let's skip ahead.
All right,
I
so
think
we're gonna pick
we're
back up Monday.
live with everybody else. For some reason, they are pointing at the seal. Y'all still don't like her from Alicia's.
I'm just gonna let my soul talk. I'm gonna speak my truth. I'm gonna let